Ah, hi, welcome to the Day Palmer Show. And with me, I have a certified public accountant, CPA, a U.S. Tax Court Practitioner, USTCP, and member of Internal Revenue Service Advisory Council, IRSAC, and the founder of GetPayroll. Charles Reed, welcome to the Day Palmer Show.
Dave, a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to have you here as well. Pleasure to have you here. And really the general theme for today's show is really about grit and the importance of life, because obviously people are going through that now, obviously with the pandemic. I don't want to, we've had over a year and almost a year and a half of it now. So, some people are thinking, I'm fed up with this now. So let's just bring something, a story about grit and importance of life in terms of, just life in general. We don't have to bring it to one specific thing, because you've obviously had a good journey in your life as well. What can you tell me about your life and grit and its importance in life, Charles?
Well, I'm a Midwestern boy. I grew up in Iowa. After high school, I joined the United States Marine Corps. And, if you don't have stick-to-itiveness in the United States Marine Corps, you're in trouble. I did a stint in combat, and, you got to have a mindset, and you've got to push through it. You've got to put up with the pain and survive. It can be a real bear.
Yeah. Well, we got a Marines. I mean, I want to join the fire service. Quite a lot were Marines, ex-Marines or ex-paras. They call them. I don't know, paratroopers. Right. That was the most common entry that came into the fire department. I don't know about the police department, but there were a lot of ex-military. What was that like for you going through that? Tell us your story. I mean, you was like a teenager and you thought, I want to join the military, because you're an accountant now. So, what happened there?
Well, young, dumb, and I thought I wanted to do that stuff. And the first time I was in combat and a bullet went whizzing by my ear, I'm asking myself, what am I doing here?
Where was that? What happened there? When was that?
That was Vietnam.
Oh wow, that is going back a bit. So that was a
I'm an old guy.
Well, I thought I was oldish, but obviously, Vietnam. I was still at school, and I probably don't even remember it. I just about remember it, I think. But that was in the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was actually in the late 60s.
Oh, okay. Well, I was born in the mid 60s, so okay. So wow, well, that's quite an experience to go through all that. What was that like? Tell us about that, going to Vietnam, because obviously I've had a couple of vets, but everyone has their own story, don't they?
And there's a lot of stories. Most of us just don't talk about the tough times. We talk about the funny instances. We talk about the memorable things. I've got several stories on Quora that I've passed on, but it's I lost a lot of friends, brothers, in arms over there, and it's, it's a truism. It's what my father told me before I went in. If you've been in combat, no explanations necessary. If you haven't, no explanation is really possible. So, we survived, those of us that did, and came back pretty much whole. And it requires a lot of. First of all, it required a lot to get through boot camp.
That's where it starts.
That's where it starts, and that's where you're trained, and that's where you're torn down and rebuilt as a Marine. And you learn to obey orders, and you learn to do what you're told, and you learn to survive. And most of us, survived, but some of us didn't. So, but when I came back in Kansas City, when I was stationed there, when I came back from Vietnam, I met and married my wife. And my wife had 5 children when I married her.
When you married her, or before you met her?
She had 5 children before I married her, and when I adopted the younger ones later on. But that takes grit. I mean, let me tell you, going from being single to married with 5 kids in a course of 20 minutes.
Yeah. 20 minutes.
That's the marriage ceremony. It's about 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, I'm moving there. I think mine was about 20 minutes as well, actually, but that was more private and smaller. But
Well, ours was very private at the military chapel. We were broke, of course. I was a corporal in the Marine Corps, and we had 5 kids, and she was a waitress. So our wedding total wedding cost was $70. That was flowers and the rings. Her friend's mother made the dress. We used the military chapel and the chaplain for free. So
Oh, it makes something out of it, so.
we were married for 45 years before she passed.
Oh, right.
So
Okay. Yeah. So she
it
passed. Yeah.
worked for us.
Yeah. That's a long time. That's in it.
There's grit. Staying married for 45 or 50 years.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you certainly don't. I thought you was a lot younger than that. I mean, obviously, you're still a
Thank you.
practice. No, I mean, you're a practicing accountant, and obviously, you've got a good background with the IRS and a few other
Well,
establishments.
and that's another thing. I don't ever plan on retiring. My staff says, "When are you going to retire?" I said, "Well, someday you're going to find me dead at my desk. I've retired."
Yeah.
I see no reason to retire. I have no interest in retiring. With my wife gone, what am I going to do? Sit around the house,
Yeah.
and clip newspaper articles or something to send to the grandkids? You got to be joking.
Yeah.
Life's too much fun. There's too many things going on. There's too much to do. There's too much to plow through. Plus, I get a great kick out of fighting with the IRS on a constant basis.
Yeah.
It's a blast, and that for the non-professional, that's a real task, because I had one that took 9 years to solve. You just have to keep plowing it and plowing it and plowing it and moving on and appealing and appealing and appealing, talking to person after person after person, writing letters. You can't give up. You give up, you lose. And in life, you give up, you lose. You can't never give up.
Yeah.
Churchill.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So tell us your transition. Obviously, you went through the marriage transition. That was 20 minutes. So that weren't a long transition, was it? Obviously, we don't want to talk about how you met or anything like that, because that will be branching off to a different topic of relationships and stuff like that. But your transition, obviously, from the military, because I think it sounds like you were still in the military when you got married, but then
Yes.
you became an accountant. Where did that transition lead you to there?
Well, I was also trained as a computer programmer and systems engineer in the Marine Corps.
Right.
They sent me to IBM and so on. But when I got out, the business community did not value my experience.
I see.
It's not much better today, but they really don't understand what a military man brings to the table, which is grit, discipline, knowledge, experience, sense of mission, drive to complete the mission, all these things which make military people, very good employees. They don't put up with a lot of the piddly stuff, but they get the work done. So I said, I'm going to have to go get my degree. So we moved down here to Texas, and I went to the University of North Texas, got my BBA and my MBA in 2.5 years, sat for and passed my CPA exam at the same time, and realized in my senior semester, that accounting was something I really enjoyed. So that's when I planned to sit for my CPA exam and become an accountant, and have been one, for almost 50 years now.
Yeah, that's some time. I'm actually 56, so most of your life is an accountant when I've been living in this world. So
Well, I'm 71. So
well, there you are. So you're still practicing as well. Well, mind you, I mean, your president's much older than you, so there you go. He was probably still at school when he.
Well, he gets. We're not going to go there.
No, we won't go there. I don't want to get. I mean, I do politics, but I don't want to sort of confuse my listeners with it. Well, anyway, what the main topic obviously is about. So you've done all this. 50 years as odd years as an accountant, and before that, we've got your history. Well, what can you tell us about? We're going to talk about your book in a minute, but what can you tell us about grit and its importance in life?
Well, I've been in business on my own for 30 years. We started it out, the wife and I started it. I realized about 40, I was never going to run a major corporation. I didn't have the political skills. I'm willing to stab people in the back and toss them off the ladder. So if I was going to run a business, my father had his own business, I figured I'd have to start my own. So we started our own business. And, you start with basically nothing. Most new businesses fail for various and sundry reasons. And we just kept plowing through and plowing through and plowing through, and as the business owner, if money's tight, you pay your employees first and you pay yourself last. These are the kind of things you have to do in business as an entrepreneur. You get the job done. You complete the mission. You take care of your clients. You go the extra mile. And that's one thing that your competitors won't do. If you'll go the extra mile for your clients, because there's, like I say, there's never a traffic jam on the extra mile.
Yeah.
If you do that, you will stand out. And that standing out brings you more clients. But it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're not going to succeed in a day or a week or a month. I love Bill Gates saying, uh, people will overestimate what they can accomplish in a year and underestimate what they can accomplish in a decade.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of, you just got to keep plowing through. You got to take that next step. The old Chinese, every journey begins with that first step. You've got to keep taking the first, second, third, fourth, on and on and on. You can't give up. You've got to plow through the troubled times with your eye on the success in the end. I live a very comfortable life now, but it took, first 10 years of my business, I didn't take a vacation. I got asked in a panel the other day, what about work-life balance? And I just cracked up. I just started laughing. For an entrepreneur, in the beginning particularly, there is no such thing as work-life balance.
Right. Yeah.
You just got to
You take your work to bed with you almost, don't you?
Oh, that's one thing I had to break my wife of. We would get home, we'd have dinner, we'd get ready for bed, we'd get into bed, and she'd have one more problem she wanted to talk about at work. She'd get it off her chest, she'd roll over and go to sleep. And I'd sit there and worry till 2 or 3 in the morning about it.
Yeah.
So we had to come to an agreement that after dinner, no more work.
Yeah, that's right.
Dinner might be midnight, but
well, I mean, there's certainly lots of tools out there these days, obviously to-do lists and actually to get yourself a bit more organized and things like that. I mean, probably weren't around when you was doing your business and starting it.
Oh, yellow pads existed then, believe me. I wrote lists from the beginning, because if you don't write it down, it doesn't get done. So now I use electronic to-do lists, but in the beginning I used a yellow pad.
Yeah.
It worked just fine, let me tell you. And sticky notes,
I
they
remember,
already existed. So sticky notes on the monitor.
I think I'm a little bit behind your time, but I think there was this thing called the Filofax that came out before it went digital.
Absolutely. And
then it went digital after that.
I had a day timer on my desk until 2 years ago.
All right. Okay.
And then I moved to computer, and I realized at the end of that year that I had never turned the page in the day timer, because it was all now on the computer. So I quit ordering them. But for most of the last 50 years, I've used a day timer religiously. Now I use a computer religiously to keep track of things, because if you don't, they'll fall in the cracks. It's real simple to miss things.
Yeah, no, sure, you're right. Well, I mean, you had two major things that we can relate to grit and its importance in life, and you can tell us about the journey in terms of helping our listeners and maybe what they'll go through. The first thing is obviously marriage and 5 kids. Almost like boom, there it is. It wasn't like planned, or it was none at the beginning. And of course, starting a business, because that the stats of a business succeeding is quite like it's like 1 to 5. Within the first 5 years will succeed. Yep. That kind of thing. So tell us about that journey, and how can you help the listeners with those two things? The relationship bit and the business bit.
Marriage comes down to, in my opinion, communication and compromise.
Yeah.
You've got to talk. You've got to communicate fully. And if it's really important to your partner, your spouse, that it's done a certain way and not to you, do it her way. If it's really important to you, but not important to her, insist on it your way. If it's not important to either one, but it has to be done, hell, flip a coin. It doesn't matter. The only real problem is if it's really important to them and really important to you. And I think marriage ought to come with a possession arrow. So you get to make the decision this time if we can't agree, and next time I get to make it. So, but they haven't issued one to me yet.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's communication. It's the same reason I don't choose to get married again after my wife passed 6 years ago, is I don't want to start a whole nother 45 years of compromises.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. And it's a unique thing, isn't it? Really, it's a unique situation for you, anyway.
I fell in love.
Yeah,
I mean, I fell in love with Ruth, and the fact that she had 5 children was inconsequential in our relationship. It was of great consequence, believe me.
Yeah.
Raising
But they're
5
all
kids.
grown up now. And did you have any kids of your own, or just
no? We chose not to.
Yeah.
But I have grandkids and great grandkids.
Of course,
and
yeah. So
because the boys were 14 when I married their mother.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that's
so they were already teenagers. So
yeah.
I was barely out of my teen years, but
yeah,
it worked.
Yeah.
And it taught me one important thing. I don't judge anybody else's marriage. Nobody thought mine was going to succeed. And we were married for 45 years. So
yeah. And what about the entrepreneurial journey? How can you help my listeners in terms of grit and its importance in life? And, you know, what can they...
If you've got an idea and you have the temperament for being an entrepreneur, not everybody does, but if you've got the temperament to take the risk and to risk everything on an idea, it's a fabulous way to live. The freedom, the liberty is great. I answer to clients, but I fire them too on occasion. I'm not beholden to anybody, and that's a very nice thing. It's a very nice way to live, but it's not easy. You've got to plow through it. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. And in the beginning, particularly, the hours are going to be brutal. You're going to work harder for yourself than you'd ever work for any company. You would never allow somebody else to push you the way you will push yourself to be successful. You just won't do it. If you've got to work 24, 36 hours in your business, you've got deadlines you've got to accomplish. You got to go without sleep, without food, whatever. You're going to get it done. You're not going to do that for anybody else. They don't pay you enough. Yeah. So it can be very difficult, but it's extremely rewarding. It's your life. It's your business. It's your success. You build it. Somebody else didn't build it for you. You build it for yourself. You build it for your family, for your success, for your ego, whatever. But you've got to stick to it. You've got to keep plowing ahead. You've got to take that next step every time. It's tough.
Yeah. But I mean, you do hear about, obviously it's probably more in the minority, but you do hear some rags to riches stories where people started with literally nothing and then they grew and did the right thing and, become overnight, kind of, not overnight, but, eventually became millionaires or whatever.
If you expect to be Jeff Bezos,
yeah.
Sorry.
Apparently he got handed a lot of money from his parents for his business to start, for Amazon to get started up or something.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Okay. But I live a nice life. I drive a nice car. I've got a nice house, live on a lake, I own my own building. I've got a lot of good things going. I'm successful, but it's 30 years, guys. It didn't happen overnight. I said, I didn't take a vacation for 10 years.
Oh, that's a long time.
Because you got things to do. You've got things you have to fix. In the beginning, you wore all the hats, and you can see what that did to my head. So as you grow, you get people in, and they start taking some of those hats, and it lightens your load, and you're able to concentrate on things you're best at, and hire good people that can do those jobs better than you can. Michael, my videographer, I can't do what he does with this stuff. I've got marketing people, I've got sales people, I've got operations people, I've got tax people, I've got banking people. They all do a wonderful job. And it allows me a little more freedom and a little more liberty, but it took a long time to get there. So it's grit, it's determination, it's stick-to-itiveness. It's not easy. You can read the stories about the guy that overnight turns into a billionaire like Mark Cuban, okay? Came up with a program, sold it for billions of dollars. 2 years later, it was obsolete and not used anymore. He was in the right place at the right time. More power to him. If you expect that to happen to you, I've got a bridge I'd like to sell you, or maybe some land down in Florida, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the other thing. People go into property, you know, and stuff like that. Obviously, we won't include Donald Trump or anything like that, but you know, it's small time, and then they kind of grow it, you know. So that's kind of like entrepreneurial, isn't it?
It's the millionaire next door. It happens. Whatever you want to call us, from a lifetime of hard work. We built, we saved, we scrimped, we were frugal, and now we have something. It doesn't come overnight, and it doesn't come easy. And entrepreneur is not for the guy who wants an easy life. If you want an easy life, go to work for the government.
Yeah, well, that's what I did for 25 years, but obviously I enjoyed my job as a firefighter. But some firefighters...
No. Firefighting's not the same as working for the government.
No, you mean in the office, yeah. But you mean like working for the IRS and behind a desk, that kind of thing.
Right. I would not have your job. No, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, listen.
I mean, had 4 years of putting my life on the line.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you did.
I don't 4 years do it every day like you did.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you eventually got your success, even though you obviously did 10 years of hard work with no vacation or anything like that, and now you have your own company, GetPayroll. You've got 4 books. You've got one at the moment that you're going to tell our audience about. Tell us about what your success now. Yeah.
This is my newest book. It took 2 years to write. The Payroll Book, a guide for small business and startups. It's designed for the under 50 employee business, which is most of American business is under 50 employees.
Yeah.
It's 30 years of experience distilled down to 95,000 words. There's a lot of stories in there, a lot of do's and don't do's, and a lot of gotchas and some horror stories and so on. There's some fun things to read in there, but some of it, frankly, is a cure for insomnia. But that's it's accounting and payroll. It's not the most vivacious industry in the world. It's not glitz. It's not glamour. It's numbers and slog.
Yeah. Number crunching. We call it number crunching. But
number crunching.
Is it more aimed at business? Is it you put the payroll?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's more for the entrepreneur to get to know how to run their payroll system, etc.
Exactly. Small business and startups, it runs them through everything they need to know, from what kind of entity to what's an employee, how to do payroll, how to pay taxes, how to avoid penalties, how to solve them if you get hit with one, on and on and on. In the U.S., over 70% of all federal government revenue comes through the payroll system.
Yeah.
Either as tax withholding or employment taxes or whatever. So every time the government wants to change taxes, they change payroll.
Wow.
It's crazy, but
yeah.
There's a lot going on. And if you're not an expert, it's tough to do it. So I recommend, obviously, I'm an outsourced business. So I don't build my own houses. I don't build my own cars. I don't groom my own dogs. I wouldn't suggest a business do their own payroll.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's a bit like saying, I wouldn't suggest being your own lawyer in court, where you get another lawyer to help you out or something like that. It's up to you, but of course, that's just the way it goes. And GetPayroll is a company that helps people, small businesses as well, in the same way.
Exactly. Our main clients are under 50. We have a few bigger ones, and we take care of them, of course. But the under 50 market is what we go after and market to, and what we enjoy. And small business, startups, new businesses. I did consulting and accounting for many years, so I love to help a new business succeed. I think it's fun, and it's not my money at risk either. So I've done that. So I love to help new businesses get through some of this stuff and negotiate the journey with the Internal Revenue Service successfully.
Yeah, well, you certainly had a journey yourself, and gave some good tips. Certainly, with what my show is about. This is a great topic we chose to use your own experience to where you've reached today. How can our listeners find out more about your book, where to find it, and also more about you, the work you do?
Well, obviously, GetPayroll, it's in the background, is our company.
Yep.
I can be reached at cjr@getpayroll. That's my email.
Yeah.
We're on the web, www.getpayroll.com. The
Uh-huh.
book is available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and it's available at thepayrollbook.com, which is the website for the book. So if your listeners would like a book, if they'll go on thepayrollbook.com and in the discount code put podcast, we'll send them a free book.
All right, great. Well, that's great for our listeners to have that
For your
incentive as
listeners.
well. Yeah, that would be great. Obviously, I've got a global audience, but there is a large amount from the US, so I'm sure they'll be appreciating that little token that you're offering us as well, the listeners as well. Well, Charles, it's been a great pleasure speaking to you. Very, very entertaining as well at the same time. Didn't expect this. So, it sounds like I don't want to say it in a horrible way, but, if you just want to talk about accounting, it's not. There are podcasts for that, of course. I'm sure you've been on those, but you gave some quite entertaining stories about your life, which is great, and obviously bringing it on point with what you do is really great bonus to put on top. But I'd just like to say thanks for coming on my show and sharing all this, great tips about life and getting through the grit to my audience today. Thanks a lot, Charles.
Dave, it's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.